Welcome to the wrapping guide tutorial number 2. This is the wraparound and the second option. So just as before, when you had the shorter end of the wrap at one side and the longer end on the other, you're going to place your baby in the middle of the well, just with enough short end of the wrap to go across their tummy. We just want to make it nice and neat, have it under their arms. When you raise their legs and tuck their knees up, all you'll see is the material and not their skin. Tucking the short end, the excess just underneath the back, will help to keep that bit in place. And starting with the shoulder again and bringing your wrap around the baby and underneath. And if your baby does become unsettled at any point, just place a flat hand over their tummy and over their arms and their legs and give them a gentle rock. As long as you need to, as long as your baby just needs a little bit of a settle and a bit of an encouragement to go back to sleep. You know, it might take only a couple of seconds, it might just take a couple of minutes. Don't forget as well that you can use your white noise app. Whilst you're doing this, have it placed close and nearby so that your baby can hear it. It doesn't have to be super loud, just loud enough to cancel out any other sounds and keep them nice and peaceful and drifting away. So as before, we're just going to gently tuck it under the baby's body and keeping it nice and smooth and making sure that it's helping to keep their thighs and their arms in place, which is the whole point of going round around them. Gently lift their head in order to bring the wrap around and under, keeping a looser last section so that we can go over the head, create a little bit of a hood for that first photograph, and once we're done with that first photograph, then we will remove the hood and take the next shot. So because you're going to be taking a photograph from above, tucking the excess wrap underneath your baby won't be seen, which is fine. Just make sure there's no horrible lumps that might actually be uncomfortable for your baby, and just try and keep it smoother and flatter underneath them. So just arrange their hands and their feet, making sure that everything's nice and tucked just the way you want it, pleasing to the eye, and all very peaceful and lovely. Having the head ever so slightly turned towards the light is a really lovely way just to illuminate their face and those little features. But of course making sure that that light's coming in at the right angle as well. If you need to adjust them a little bit, just make sure that you do it by having your entire hands flat around them, supporting shoulders, supporting hips, so that they move as one and not in different sections. Of course, you can play around with where the hands are, and you can take a photo in hands up, hands across, one hand up, etc. There's so many different options that you can go for to get a variety of looks. Make sure that the posing blanket has as least folds as possible. This will help to minimize the shadows. They are distracting in the photograph, and of course when you're taking a photo you want it to be as perfect in camera as possible. So things like placing an extra pillow underneath if you need to bring that blanket up, that'll just help to eliminate those folds. And of course if you need to put an extra cloth or support alongside your baby or under their head to give them a little bit of a lift. In this case, we are ready to take a photo. So make sure that the brightness is right and that the focus is in the right place. You don't want to be below your baby and you don't want to be going too far from above their head either. Make sure the least amount of distortion possible. So once you've taken that photograph from above, you can then just adjust their hands again, play around with the look, take another photo and enjoy. So the second look that you can have as well is without the hood. Take the material off their head and place it underneath their head, and obviously it'll be a little looser, so just retighten it again. Not too tight, again, we don't want to cause circulation problems, but just tight enough that it's going to help to support their legs and keep them in place, and then tuck the excess underneath. And of course, you're always going to be checking the posing blanket, making sure that there are no folds. If it needs to be stretched out again, now's the time. And once you're happy with how it looks, you're ready to take your photographs.